If you're feeling lost right now, I want you to realize it's a really good thing. And today, when you discover these 3 proven steps to getting your life back on track, not only will you realize why feeling lost is a very good thing, but what you got to really do instead in order for you to truly get your life back on track. And the answer is not what you think. And so be sure to pay close attention. Now, just before I share with you these 3 proven steps, I want to understand this. Anytime you delve deeper into any subject on a very deep level, you realize you tend to feel overwhelmed or lost. It's kind of like this. Imagine you've never studied astrophysics. Imagine we was to study astrophysics together right now for 20 hours. Is there a slight chance we'll both feel lost? Is there a slight chance we'll both feel overwhelmed? You bet. So meaning, if you're feeling lost in your life right now, think about this. It means you are delving deeper, questioning the reality. You're waking up when everybody else out there are sleeping awake. You should be thanking yourself it's happened in this lifetime. Isn't that true? Because this means you'll be able to squeeze every single drop out of this precious thing we call life. So you should be thankful. You should be grateful right now that you're feeling this state of feeling lost, because it means that you're now truly on this adventure that we call life. Isn't that right? Bearing that in mind, let's go on to the 3 proven steps to get your life back on track right now. First step is to mind your words. Mind your words. Because the words we use in our subconscious minds determine how we feel, and your emotions lead to motion. Your emotional state determines your human behavior. Making sense? So let me ask you, when you're telling yourself, I feel lost, and you're using that specific word, lost, how do you feel? Do you feel empowered or disempowered? Totally disempowered when you say. You definitely don't feel like taking massive action. Isn't that right? Meaning that emotional state you're feeling is not going to get you out of this situation anytime soon. True or true? Now, let me ask you, have you ever been abroad, or you ever been on like an adventure before, or like a holiday before? How do you normally feel when you're on holiday? You feel much better when you agree. But think about it. Technically, when you're abroad, you are lost. Isn't that right? So why do you feel better? Because in your mind, you're telling yourself, I'm on an adventure. Isn't that right? You're saying, I'm exploring. I'm exploring. Are you getting this? Because what's happening right now, if you're feeling lost in your life, understand, lost is another word for exploring. You are exploring your life right now. Isn't that true? So enjoy it. You're on an adventure right now. Tell yourself that. And notice how you feel different. I am exploring. I'm on an adventure right now, because you are literally waking up when everybody else out there is sleeping awake. So that means you'll be able to truly squeeze every single drop out of this thing we call life. So be grateful and tell yourself, I am exploring right now. Second step is to create some space. Understand, no child is ever born lacking clarity. If you're lacking clarity right now, it is a learned behavior. It is a learned behavior. Most people say they lack clarity when in reality they're just so scared of failing. They're just so scared of letting other people down. So the question is, are you really lacking clarity? Or is it all the BS stories you're telling yourself in your mind? And you realize the latter is the truth. If you really peel back the layers of onion, you understand you're already clear. But it's that fog that's in the way of you. Because the moment we're born, we get conditioned by the society. We grow up, we get told, put your hands up if you want to speak. We get told money doesn't grow on trees. We get told you can't have that. You're not good enough for that. And we become numb to our own desires. We become numb to our desires of our heart. And as a result, we end up living lives that we don't want to live. Hence why Bronnie Ware in her studies, when she was spending time with just a couple of weeks left to live, noticed that the biggest dying regret of millions of people out there is they wish they had lived a life that they wanted, not the life others expected of them. Don't let that be you. Create some space in your life. Have you noticed anytime you've got space, real space, ideas come to you? And sometimes it's when you least suspect it. Maybe you're in the shower, right? And you're just showering and all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, that's an amazing idea. Or maybe you're meditating and all of a sudden you think of that great idea. Isn't that true? So the reason why is because it is a space between the words that create the words. It is a space between the thoughts that holds your highest wisdom. And anytime you've created real space, this is why you're tapping into the highest wisdom within you, the inner genius within you. And so you want to create some space in your life. You want to totally detach from the things that's keeping you busy being busy. Maybe you want to go on a walk. Maybe you totally want to just detach from this thing called reality by going into deep meditation or whatever really works for you. Create some space and don't be too surprised when all of a sudden deep level of wisdom starts coming out of you. Is that making sense? Third step, the final step, follow your highest values. So on the previous step, we talked about how we become numb to our own desires. And the longer you've been basically putting other people ahead of you, the more numb you will feel. But as human beings, we are driven by our values. The reason why we do anything is due to our values that we hold within. Is this making sense? Hence why some people dedicate and devote everything to their career, while some people dedicate and devote everything to their relationships, while some people find balance. Everyone acts differently. And what determines that human behavior is the values that we hold within. So create some space, write down your top highest values, the things you value the most in your life, And then think about the decisions you've got to make in your life. And what you want to do is take the first decision and then whatever you wrote down for the first value, rate it on a scale 1 to 10. Let's say you wrote down the first value is freedom. That's what you really value. And let's say your first decision is to create your own business. On a scale 1 to 10, long-term wise, how much freedom does this decision create for you? In this case, you'll probably say 10. Isn't that right? So for the second value you wrote down, maybe that's love. Ask yourself in the long term, how on a scale 1 to 10, 10 being best, how much would you love doing this? You'll probably say 10. And so by the time you get to the fifth value, you want to essentially add up all of the score for decision 1, then go into decision 2. Is that making sense? If you've taken part in this powerful exercise, you'll be able to logically see which decision in front of you is most aligned with your highest values. And so what you want to do in your life right now is allow your values to be the guide. Allow your values to be the guide in terms of direction that you're meant to be moving in right now. And remind yourself, anytime you are feeling lost, you are exploring. Just trust in your life's unfolding journey. Because what will happen as long as you keep moving forwards. Keep moving forwards.